week, we are focusing on Apana Vayu, which is the downward and outward movement of energy. So Apana Vayu, it moves downward toward the elimination organ. So it's all about elimination of waste. It's about the exhalation of the breath. It's really grounding because we're focusing on bringing energy toward the root chakra. It's great for the removal of negative emotions and mental experiences. So when you are trying to move through some experiences and let go of things, you just need to let it go. This is a great one to do. It's a great practice to do if you are constipated, if you're not moving things through as efficiently as you could. So you can tab this one, you might come back to it. And it's affected by controlling the exhalation side of the breath. So that's the prana side of that. So ways that we can induce Apana Vayu, certain forward bends, hip openers. We're gonna do a lot of hip openings tonight. I hope you're ready. Squats, deepening the exhalation, holding your breath after exhalation, if that's a part of your practice. And there's certain postures, specific postures that we'll practice tonight that will help to induce Apana Vayu. Okay, so downward and outward. We're going to be letting go of stuff tonight. We're going to be holding postures for a little while. We're going to be connecting to the root chakra. We're going to be imagining ourselves kind of just letting things go into the earth. There are meditations, not the one that we'll do specifically tonight, but there's this idea that the earth has been here way longer than you have, and that it's held everything, every experience so far, and that no matter what you're holding, no matter what you need to let go of, that the earth is willing, ready, and able to hold on to that. So as you're contemplating letting go of things tonight, know that you get plenty of support beneath you. You don't have to hold it. You don't have to hold it all if you only want to get rid of a piece of it. Okay? Now, before we go inward, I'm going to be chanting the Apana Vayu chant. And while I'm doing so, I'll have you just imagining or tuning into this idea of downward and outward movement of energy, connecting to that root chakra. And there's a mudra or hand gesture that you can do to help induce this as well. And that is to connect the tip of the first finger and the tip of the middle finger to the tip of your thumb. The two little fingers kind of hang out there. And you do that on both hands. And you place the palms downward on your knees or thighs. Okay? So tips of the two first fingers together with the thumbs, the little fingers out, and just place them down. It's actually kind of a resting kind of mudra here. I already feel really grounded. All right. So with that mudra, sitting tall, relax the shoulders down the back. And close your eyes. Let's just take a few deep breaths in and out together. Maybe exhaling audibly if that feels good to help you let go. And allow your breath to be internal. And come to this awareness that there is energy in your system that is moving down and is moving out. It's the eliminating force, the exhalating force, the expiring force. As everything comes in, everything also must go out. You might be aware of that root chakra, the base of the body. Maybe it's feeling like a magnet holding you, grounding you to the earth. Or a channel moving energy through. And just tune into this flow of Apana Vayu as I chant. Om Namo Apanaya. Apanaya Nama Om. Om Apanaya Swaha. Apanaya Nama Om. Om Namo Apanaya. Apanaya Nama Om. Om Apanaya Swaha. Apanaya Nama Om. Om Namo Apanaya. Apanaya Nama Om. Om Apanaya Swaha. Apanaya Nama Om. Om Namo Apanaya. Apanaya Nama Om. Om Apanaya Swaha. Apanaya Nama Om. Om Namo Apanaya. Apanaya Nama Om. Om Apanaya Swaha. Apanaya Nama Om. Aware of that downward and outward movement of prana, life force energy, elimination and letting go. And let that be your intention tonight, whether you know exactly what you want to let go of, or whether you're just opening the invitation to whatever needs to flow through. And with that intention, we'll chant Om together. You can join me or just listen 3 times. Deep breath in. Please bring your palms to your heart and lower the chin, honoring yourself as you are in this moment, body, breath, energy, and mind. Honoring the one doing the honoring. And it's from this place within you that we will practice tonight. Go ahead and rub the palms together, creating heat. And bring the heated palms over your eyes. And brush back over the top of your head, down your neck, bringing yourself back to your space. All right, welcome. So we're going to start this evening on hands and knees. So go ahead and move to table pose. And if you want to, and if you have a blanket, you may want to bring it underneath your knees. Any old blanket will do. All right. So bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips or slightly further back. Inhale, look forward with the heart. Feel the tailbone lift. Inhale. Exhale, go all the way back to child's pose. Seat to the heels, forehead to the floor. Inhale, flow right back up to hands and knees. And exhale back, child's pose. Let's do a few more of these, just starting to get into our bodies tonight. Inhale, rising, exhale, releasing. Warming up the spine, the shoulders, the hips, and beginning to link your breath and movement, your action, and your intention. Let's do about 2 more times. Moving on your breath. Good. And then inhale, come up to hands and knees. And go ahead and stay. Good. So on hands and knees, go ahead and step your right foot all the way out to the side and the right foot to the floor. If you need to, you can turn on your mat like I have. And you want to make sure the extended leg is in line with both hip bones. So it's not too far forward, it's not too far back, it's right in line. Okay? And that right foot is flat on the floor, grounding through the pinky edge of the foot. Okay, so that's the foot. Hands are still underneath your shoulders. Roll the shoulders down the back, look forward with your heart, and then also feel the tailbone lift toward the sky behind you. Keep the tailbone lifting and just glide backwards. Then inhale, come back up. Then exhale again, glide backwards. Inhale back up. Let's do about 3 more times. Exhale, gliding back. Inhale, gliding up. And as you're moving, as you're breathing, keep the tailbone lifting toward the sky behind you. That engagement's going to be what gives you the stretch in your hip here. Let's do 1 more time. And as you glide back this time, go ahead and stay at your furthest point, whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't have to be too far, as long as you can keep the tailbone engaged, reaching toward the sky. Here, let's take some deep breaths here. One more breath, please. Good. Then inhale, come back up. Bring the right knee in, and then extend the left leg out. Again, the leg is in line with both hip bones. The left foot is flat on the floor, grounding through the left pinky. Hands are under your shoulders. Look forward, inhale, tailbone lifts, and again, just glide back. You'll feel the stretch on the inner thigh here, and then inhale, come back up. Exhale, glide back. Inhale, back up. Let's do a few more times. Breathing deeply here. And keep the tailbone lifting. Let's do 2 more. And then go back to your furthest point, whatever that looks like for you, as long as you can keep the tail lifting toward the sky. And let's take some deep breaths here. And keep the pinky edge of the left foot grounding. Keep the tailbone lifting. Keep the breath on breathing. Good. Inhale, come back up and step the left leg in. Let's come to child's pose proper. And then inhale back up to hands and knees. All right, we're gonna do another hip exercise here from 4s. So go ahead and step your right foot out to the side again, leg in line with the hips, grounding through that foot. Good. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Look forward. Exhale, bend the right knee, sink sideways down into the hip. Then inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bend the knee again. Then inhale, come back up. Let's do that a few more times, sinking in. And now, as we continue to move here and breathe here, I'd like you to engage what's called Ujjayi Pranayama, or the audible breath. So constrict the glottis, the back of the throat, to make that hissing or ocean type sound as you breathe. It's almost like a soft snore. And as you bend the right knee this time, go ahead and stay. You can keep your hands exactly where they're at. If you need more support, you can walk your hands to the right. Still breathing Ujjayi pranayama. Some of you may even be able to come down onto your forearms here, but it's early in the class, so don't push it, okay? I promise you'll get plenty of time to get into the hips tonight. One more breath here. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and straighten the right leg, come back through center and step the right leg in. And we'll practice that on the other side. Left leg extends, leg in line with the hip joints. Hands on the floor. Take a deep breath in, look forward. Exhale, bend the left knee, sink down sideways. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, sink back in. Inhale back up. Again, keep going and use this audible breathing, this Ujjayi pranayama. A couple more times, in and out. And as you sink into this left hip this time, go ahead and stay. Keep breathing audibly. And again, you can keep your hands where they're at, or you can walk them to the left. Again, some of you may have the innate flexibility to come down onto your forearms. If that's too soon, don't worry about it. Just a couple more breaths here. Good. With your next inhale, go ahead and straighten the left leg. Bring it through center. Child's pose once again. Seat to the heels, forehead to the floor. Maybe already you're becoming more aware of the region of the hips, the first chakra, engaging some of that Apana Vayu, that downward and outward movement. Good. And inhale, come on back up. Good. And then come to a seat with your legs out in front of you. Take your time. And if you'd like to, if you have that blanket, you can fold it and sit on it. This is going to give you just a little bit more access in this next part of the exercise. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. We'll make it work. Okay. All right, so start with your legs extending forward. We'll make a couple of adjustments from here, but this is a good starting point. You're going to bring your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Your left leg is going to go out to the side about 45 degrees. You might have to tuck that right foot in just a little bit more here. Good. Now, once we've done that, sometimes what happens is that the tailbone tucks under and we start to hunch a bit. So you can actually widen the flesh of the seat manually back, and that helps you to sit forward on the sits bones. So you can sit nice and tall. Flex the left foot. Good. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, turn your navel toward the left foot. Sit up tall again, inhale. Exhale, reinforce that twist. One more time, sitting tall. Good. Now keep the navel pointing toward the left leg, and then reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath in, extending through the spine. With your exhale, hinge at the hips and bring the heart about halfway forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold about halfway forward again. Inhale, back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back up. Twice more. Good. Then exhale, fold. Go to your furthest point without rounding the back. So it's not a nosedive here. We're keeping some extension. And then place the hands down next to the leg. Good. Breathing here. You can breathe audibly if you'd like to. Ujjayi pranayama. Good. One more breath. And go ahead and extend your arms forward, biceps by your ears, and lift with your lower back to come back up and unwind to center, releasing the hands down. Let's do the other side, okay? So extend the right leg out about 45 degrees and bring the left foot in. Good. All right. Now again, you might have to widen the flesh of the seat back, so go ahead and make those adjustments if you need to. And then sitting nice and tall, take a deep breath in, feel length. And then exhale, turn the navel toward your right foot. Then inhale, sit up tall again. And then exhale, reinforce that. It might take a few breaths. One more time. Good. Now keep the navel pointing toward the foot. Go ahead and lift the arms up. Then exhale, hinge at the hips, go about halfway forward. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, halfway forward. Inhale. Let's do a few more. Good, last one. And then exhale, go to your furthest point without collapsing and just release the hands down next to the foot, to the leg, or the foot, depending on how much access you have here. We'll just take some deep breaths. Breathing Ujjayi Pranayama. Good, one more breath here. And then extend your arms forward, biceps by your ears. Then use the back. Inhale, come up and unwind and release. Good, one more practice here, then we'll move on. Go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. You can hold on to the ankles, the shins. Some of you might have long enough arms to hold on to the pinky edge of the feet. But wherever you're holding, make sure you can sit up as tall as you can, okay? So that might mean you have to back up where you're holding. Good. And allow the chin to drop slightly. The back of the neck lengthening, the crown of the head is still lifting toward the ceiling. And then just begin to flap the butterfly wings. Just pumping the legs up and down a little bit, just helping to really loosen up the hip joints here. And breathe Ujjayi. You can go as slowly or quickly as you need to. You don't have to take off, though some of you might want to. I'm gonna go for about maybe 20 more seconds. Just keep moving, really helping to warm up those hip joints. They get nice and tight, and this really helps to encourage them to open up a bit. Again, it'll come in really handy with our practice this evening. If you've been taking a deep breath in a minute, go ahead and take a deeper breath. You might even start to feel some heat down there. Take a deep breath in and out. And relax the movement. Sit up tall, inhale. With your exhale, hinge from the hips, bring your heart forward in the direction of your feet. How far you go depends on how much access you have in your hips. But keep the spine relatively flat here as you fold. So we're not over rounding the back here. We're actually keeping the spine nice and tall, or lengthened, I should say. Just a couple more breaths. For some of our postures tonight, we'll be spending some time holding, and that's just because one, holding is grounding, and two, the hips don't like to be rushed. So it takes a little bit longer to get into them. 2 more breaths. Good. And then inhale, sit up tall. All right, beautiful. So let's go ahead and come on to hands and knees. We're just going to use that posture as a transition to down dog. So take your time getting there, but shifting, twisting, whatever you got to do. Come into downward facing dog. It's our first down dog of the night, so go ahead and walk it out a bit. Pressing a heel to the floor as you bend the opposite knee, breathing length into the legs and spine. And with the work we've done to open up the hips so far, just notice if this is a different down dog than you're used to. Yes, there might be some lengthening that needs to happen in the hamstrings or the back of the legs, but how does it feel in the lower back? How does it feel in the hip flexors? Not that it has to be different, but is it? Is it different? Good, and then from down dog, come into plank. Exhale, plank yourself down to the floor. Hands under your shoulders, pelvis grounding, head, chest, and legs lifting. Inhale, locust pose. Exhale, float down, curl the toes under, lift your knees away from the floor, and push up to plank and back to downward facing dog. All right, from here, walk your hands back to meet your feet, coming into Uttanasana. Standing forward fold. Just taking just a few breaths here. Relax the head, neck, shoulders, and arms. Relax the back of the legs, your lower back, your jaw, your eyes. Good, and from here, bend your knees a little bit more and roll yourself a vertebra at a time all the way up to standing. Aware of that downward and outward movement of energy. And if you know what it is, maybe touching into that which you'd like to let go of tonight. Taking a deeper, fuller breath. Bringing your awareness back. Good morning. And take a wide stance on your mat. Nice and wide. And then turn the feet out about 45 degrees. A great posture to practice when you're trying to practice Apana Vayu, when you're trying to stimulate that, is goddess pose. So we'll do a couple of practices with it tonight. So go ahead and just bring your hands onto your hips to start. Take a deep breath in, feel length in the spine. With your exhale, bend your knees out toward your toes. And then inhale, come back up. Good, now if that felt a little off, you might need to shorten or widen your stance. You can pick. And then exhale, bend the knees again, out toward the toes, and inhale, come back up. Please continue. Exhale, sinking down. Keep the heart lifting. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Lift the arms overhead now. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sink in. Inhale up. Good. We're going to add some movement. Exhale, cactus arms. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach up, straighten the legs. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reach. Continue. Twice more. And then exhale, bend the knees, sink on in. And let's hold. And let's breathe. If you're able to, maybe practice Ujjayi Pranayama, the audible breath here. It helps to relieve that tension, keeps the mind from over-identifying with sensation. Instead, you can remain more in that witnessing consciousness that yoga tries to bring us into. One more breath. And inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up, turn the feet parallel, toes pointing forward. Then go ahead and hinge at the hips, swan dive, fold forward and down. Good. Press palms to shins, come halfway up here, heart parallel to the floor. Exhale, fold forward and down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, heart parallel to the floor. Exhale, fold. Once more. Good, and then sweep the arms out to the side of the flat back, come all the way up to standing. And then exhale, palms to the heart. Good. All right. So whichever direction is the top of your mat, go ahead and turn that way and step there. If you hadn't had a drink of water in a moment, maybe hydrate before we head into our sun salute. All right. So we're going to be working with some lunges tonight to help us really induce that Apana Vayu. So that'll be prevalent in our sun salutation. With the feet stacking underneath your hips, bring your palms to your heart. Start the Ujjayi Pranayama, the audible breath. And feel that downward and outward moving wind of prana. We'll let this movement be in honor of that. With your inhale, sweep your arms down, back, and up. With your exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive, fold forward and down. Press palms to shins, come halfway up. Exhale, release, step your right foot way back, knee to the ground, release the foot. Inhale, lift the arms up for the crescent lunge. With your exhale, bring both hands to the inside of your left foot and sink your heart toward the floor. Inhale, straighten the arms, feel length in the spine as you look forward. Then exhale, bend the elbows again, sinking down. Inhale, straighten the arms, bring the left hand to the outside of the left foot and step back to downward facing dog. Don't worry, we'll practice that a lot more. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, plank yourself on down, feeling the pelvis ground. Inhale, locust pose, head, chest, and legs. Exhale, release, curl the toes under and lift the knees. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Good. From here, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Release the back knee to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms up for the crescent lunge. Exhale, both hands to the inside of the right foot, sink the hips, the heart toward the floor. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows again, sink the heart. Inhale, straighten the arms. Bring the right hand to the outside of the right foot and step the left foot forward, Uttanasana. Palms to shins, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold down. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side of the flat back, come all the way up. And palms to the heart. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, sweep the arms down, back and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive, fold forward. Palms to shins, halfway up. Exhale, release, step the left foot back this time. Knee to the ground. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the inside of the right foot, sink the heart. Inhale, straighten the arms. Feel length as you look forward, and then keep that length as you sink a little bit deeper this time. Inhale, straighten the arms. Bring the right hand to the outside of the foot and step back, downward facing dog. Plank pose. To the earth, exhale. Come on up, locust. And exhale, returning to downward facing dog, pushing up and back. Left leg lifts when you get there. Exhale, step it on through. Help it forward. Back knee to the ground, crescent lunge. Exhale, both hands to the inside of the left foot, sink the heart. Inhale, straighten the arms. Look forward. Exhale, sink again. Inhale, straighten the arms. Bring the left hand to the outside of the foot and step forward. Palms to shins, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up. Palms to the heart. If you haven't done so in a while, take a deep breath with Ujjayi. And let's continue. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, folding forward. Halfway up. And release. Step the right foot way back. Knee to the ground. Come on up. Reach the arms. Exhale, hands to the inside of the foot. Bow forward. Straighten the arms. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten the arms. Bring the left hand out and step back. Plank pose. To the earth. Locust. Downward facing dog. Good. Right leg lifts and steps. Knee to the ground, crescent lunge. Hands to the inside of the foot again. Drop the heart. Lengthen the spine. Look forward. Inhale. Exhale, sink again. Inhale, straighten the arms. Bring the right hand out and step forward. Palms to shins. Exhale, release. Sweep the arms out to the side. Come all the way up. Reach. Palms to the heart. Good. Again, inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway up. Left foot back. Knee to the ground. Crescent lunge. Lift up. Exhale, hands to the inside. Sink the heart. Straighten the arms. Look forward. Exhale, fold. Straighten the arms and step back to downward facing dog. Plank pose. To the earth. Locust. Downward facing dog. Left leg and step. Knee to the ground, crescent lunge. Hands to the inside. Sink the heart. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink. Inhale, come up. Bring the hand out and step forward. Palms to shins. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the side, coming all the way up. Palms to the heart. We're going to do one more round with a little bit more work this time. Inhale, come up. Reach. Exhale, fold. Palms to shins. Exhale, sink. Step the right foot way back. Don't drop the knee. Don't drop the knee. Now, if you can, lift the arms up, coming into a high lunge. If this is really unstable for you, you can bring the knee down, but try without first. Good. Now, with your exhale, bring the hands to the inside of the left foot. And to the best of your ability, keep the left knee, or the right knee, sorry, lifted. If at any point it's just too much, you can always bring it down. So take a deep breath in here. With your exhale, bend the elbows, sink the heart toward the floor. Inhale, straighten the arms, look forward. Exhale, sink. Inhale. Exhale, sink again. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. And then exhale, sink to your furthest point and stay. The arms might still be relatively straight here. Some of you may be able to come down onto your forearms, or if you have yoga blocks at home, you can bring your forearms onto a yoga block if you're at the halfway point. Okay. Again, the back knee can release down if you need to. If the knee is lifting, have that back leg as straight as possible, reaching that right heel back behind you. Breathe. Again, the hips don't like to be rushed. That's why we're holding for as long as we are. Stay for one more breath. Good. Now, if you're on your forearms, go ahead and walk back up onto your hands, straightening the arms, and let's step back to downward facing dog. All right, inhale into plank, exhale down to the earth. Locust, rise. Exhale, release. Curl the toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts this time, step it on through. Help it forward. Again, back knee stays lifting, this time if you can. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, hands to the inside of the right foot. Now get steady because we're going to be here for a little bit. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, sink the heart toward the ground. Inhale, straighten the arms, look forward again. And exhale, sink down. Just a few more times. Now, as you sink this time, go ahead and stay. Some of you may be able to come down onto your forearms or to a block. Some of you may need to drop the back knee. Just stay in integrity of the pose, whichever you're doing. Keep the back leg extended if the knee is lifting. Breathing deep. Ujjayi pranayama if you can. Just a few more breaths. Keep the back leg straight. Good. So if you're on your forearms, go ahead and walk back up onto your hands. Wall straighten the arms and do your best to step the back foot forward. Good. Press palms to shins, come halfway up here. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side with a flat back, come all the way up. And bring your palms to your heart. Just feel sensation for a moment. Physical sensations in your body, possibly down into your hips or your legs. Possibly tuning into that more subtle, energetic flow of Apana Vayu, this downward movement, flowing downward through your feet to the earth. What is it that you wanted to let go of here? Invite that eliminating quality in. And then taking a deeper, fuller breath. Bringing your awareness back. All right. So turning wide on your mat again, take your feet nice and wide apart. And you're going to have the feet pointing directly forward, if not pigeon toeing slightly here. This will give you more access to your hamstrings and lower back. Good. And then sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, just fold forward and down. With your hands or fingertips on the floor, come halfway up. And with your exhale, bend your right knee, sink down into that hip. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, sink down into your left hip, bending the left knee. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, first side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, second side. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time on each side. And straighten your left leg. All right, so from here, we're going to move into frog pose. So walk your feet off of the back side of your mat. So your feet are off the back of your mat. And your hands are in the front of your mat. So you're kind of straddling or hovering over it. With your inhale, lift the heels coming onto the balls of the feet, and then release the sides of your knees down onto your mat. Now, if that just isn't happening, you can double your mat back over and create a little bit more cushion for them. That way you're not hurting them. The inside arches of the feet release down to the floor, and the heels are right behind your knees, so not cutting inward, more cutting outward like frog legs, hence the name of the pose. And then from here, you're going to come down onto your forearms, your elbows under your shoulders, hands flat on the floor, and your chest parallel to the ground. No sinking here. Keep it lifted. And then very carefully, just traction your hips back behind you. You'll hit a wall. We all have that wall. Now, if your elbows in front of you are on like a hard surface, you may want to bring them onto a blanket. So we're going to be here for maybe about a 45 seconds to a minute or so. So make sure you're comfortable as much as you can be in frog pose. Now, as we're holding this pose, there's a few things that I would like you to try to practice. The first is Ujjayi pranayama. The second, in addition to the pranayama, is to find stillness. Traction your hips back to that wall, and then stay there. Don't fidget. Don't breathe erratically. Don't mess with your fingers or your toes. Just breathe audibly. And bring your awareness to the root chakra, on the base of the body there, right beneath the reproductive organs. And just feel that space soften. Feel that space relax. As if any withholding that was happening at that center is now more open. Any constriction, just relaxing back. And stay for just a little bit longer. All right, now taking a deeper, fuller breath, please. Carefully walk back up onto your hands. Bring the feet closer together behind you, and then carefully shimmy the knees together and come into child's pose. Still aware of that softening at the root, that allowance for Apana Vayu. Good, and then go ahead and walk your hands back to sit up and look forward. I'll demonstrate really quickly this next set of exercises. So we're gonna do an inversion, and if you don't wanna do an inversion, you don't have to. There's a couple of variations. The first, you can just lay down while we're doing this. Second, you can do legs up the wall or legs straight up if you don't have a wall, and hold on to the backs of the legs. We'll be practicing Viparita Karani. So if you are going to practice the inversion, this will be the one that we'll do. Sometimes referred to as half shoulder stand. Okay. So I'm going to come into bridge prep, and I'm going to do this slowly. You'll do this, I'm sorry, I'm going to do this quickly. You'll do this slowly. So from bridge prep, heels underneath your knees, you'll lift the hips into the air and bend the elbows. The closer the elbows are to your side, the more stable you'll be here. From here, walk the feet back toward your body and grab hold of your hips. Good. Now you may need help here. Just try to bring one knee, then the other into your chest. Some of you might be able to do both at the same time, and then turn the hands around so you're cupping the hips. From there, extend the legs toward the ceiling so the toes come in line with your eyes. This is Viparita Karani. It's not full shoulder stand. The weight of the body is resting in my hands, not my shoulders. And again, toes in line with the eyes. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. And then after those few breaths, you have the option to take the feet overhead, keep supporting the waist, coming into Halasana plow pose. Okay? If you don't want to do plow pose, you can just stay in Viparita Karani. And then to come down, it's knees to chest and relax. Okay? So if you are going to do plow pose, just make sure you have space above your head so you don't like knock into a coffee table or something. It's good to set yourself up for success here. I've actually shifted down to the edge of my mat here with my feet at the edge, so I have room to go overhead. All right, I'll walk you through it, but go at your own pace, okay? And just do your best here, all right? When you're ready, come into bridge pose. And bend the elbows, fingertips pointing toward the ceiling. And again, the closer the elbows are to your sides, the more stable you'll be here. So don't do one of these where they're way out past your mat. Keep them nice and tight. And then come onto the balls of the feet, lift the hips, and grab hold of your waistband, the region of your waistband. Good. And then engage the core and bring the knees into your chest. Flip the hands around to cup the hips and take your time as you extend the legs toward the ceiling, your toes in line with your eyes. And soften your throat here. Breathe, staying in this posture. And do your best, especially if you're not as practiced in this, just completely fine. There are definitely varying levels in this class right now. Staying for just a little bit longer. Curious footnote here. The Hatha Yoga Pratipika says that if you hold this pose for 3 hours, you conquer death. So if that's on your to-do list, this is the posture to do it in. There's some nuances to that, but it's funny. It's funny. You can stay here if you'd like. If you want to practice Halasana plow pose, take the legs overhead, but keep holding on to the hips to support. Your feet do not need to touch the floor here. It's probably good news for some of you. You can also take the feet wider, and they might touch the floor, but again, that's not your ultimate goal. All right, so if you're in plow pose, go ahead and lift the legs back up to Viparita Karani, and then bring the knees into the chest and carefully relax down to the floor. And take the feet a little bit wider and let the knees kind of buckle toward one another so you can relax here and just feel sensation for a moment. Because even though we were in an inversion, which might seem like it's moving energy toward maybe the heart or the head, when we come down out of the pose, that flow reverses. And the energy starts to move downward toward the pelvic floor. Good. Take a deep breath in and out, please. And bring your heels underneath your knees, hip distance apart. And then go ahead and lift the hips into the air, coming back into bridge. We're just going to stay in bridge for just a few breaths. Hips reaching toward the sky. And there's a little bit of a back bend in the upper back as the heart reaches toward your chin. Soften your throat. Deep breath in. Exhale, release the hips on down. And take your right arm overhead. Roll to your right side and come up to a seat. Take your time. I know we were on our backs for a bit. So we're almost done with the asana portion or the physical yoga practice portion of this practice, but we just want to make sure that we do enough counter posing so you can rest comfortably. All right. So if you want, you can sit on that folded blanket again. I'm going to because I have it here, and why not? Good. We're going to do a little bit of twisting. So with both legs extending forward, go ahead and bring your right knee in towards your chest. And then take the right foot across the left foot and ground it down to the floor. If it doesn't want to ground, bring it back to the inside. Okay. So it's your right knee on top. It's your right hand right behind your spine. And then inhale, lift the left arm up. And exhale, take the left arm across the body, hook the knee and twist, looking over your right shoulder. Now stay in the pose, sit up taller, inhale. Exhale, feel the navel pull into the body and to the right, looking over your right shoulder again. Good. With your inhale, carefully unwind. Bring both hands to your left side and just do a quick push-up. Pressing down and up and uncross. All right, side number 2. Bring the left knee in and take the foot across, grounding it. Again, if it doesn't ground on the left on that side, bring it back to the inside. Left knee crossing. Left knee on top, left hand behind your back, right next to the spine. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, take the right arm across, hook the knee and twist, looking over your left shoulder. Now again, staying in the pose, inhale, sit up taller, and exhale, work the left shoulder back. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, feel the navel pull into your body and to the left. And stay. One more breath. Then inhale, unwind, bring both hands to your right side. Quick push-up. And uncross. For our final asana before Shavasana, bring your feet back together in butterfly. Might feel different this time. We've done a little bit of work since the last time we were here. Again, you can hold on to the ankles, the shins, you can hold on to the pinky edge of the feet, so long as you can keep the spine nice and tall, which might have more to do with like arm length than any kind of flexibility. So sitting tall, feel the chin drop slightly, crown of the head lifting toward the ceiling, and get still for a moment. Become aware of that root chakra again, base of the body, and soften any tension, holding, gripping, any constraint in that region of the body. Just imagine that energy moving down and out. And keep that internal awareness, the softening of the pelvis and the downward and outward movement, and begin to hinge the hips to fold, only going as far as you can while you keep the back flat. It's okay if that's not that far. One more breath here. Then inhale, sit up tall. Again, feeling that waving down of energy toward the pelvic floor and out. And try to keep some of this internal awareness as you transition onto your back for Shavasana, corpse pose. So coming to lie down comfortably. Bring any support where you need it when you come to lay down. You can bring a blanket underneath your head. You can cover up with a blanket if you need it in your space. You can adjust the lighting in your space if you need to. And once you come to lie down, take a deep breath in and out, and maybe let that be a sigh. And if that felt good, do it again. Apana Vayu, governing that exhalation, that expiration. And when connecting to Apana Vayu, practicing Shavasana here is such a wonderful expression of that. Without having to take it to a morbid place, Shavasana is corpse pose. It is in at least the physical terms, the ultimate expiration. It's the allowance of effort to stop. And it signifies the return to source. And not that you are dying or wanting to, that in this moment you're allowing yourself to be so deeply, so deeply. Peace, peace, peace. Go ahead and take a deeper, fuller breath. And take another, even deeper, even fuller breath. And begin to make movements in your hands and feet and your arms and legs. And whatever you were maybe hoping to let go of tonight, let it stay on your mat as you roll to your right side. Leave it there. And then go ahead and come to a comfortable seat. And if you're still making your way to a seat, continue to move at your own pace. Once you're there, sit tall in a comfortable seat. And bring your hands back into Apana mudra, which is to bring the first two fingers, the pointer finger and the middle finger, to the tip of the thumb on both hands. And then palms face down, two little fingers extended out. Good. Sitting tall. With your inhale, please draw all of your feeling, all of your sensation and consciousness down to the base of your spine, right around that root chakra. Hold your breath in just a little bit and just keep it at the root. As you exhale, feel all the physical and mental toxins move down and out of the body toward the core of the earth. And we'll repeat that. Inhale, draw all feeling, sensation, and consciousness down to the root. Just briefly hold the breath in, holding your awareness at the root chakra. And then exhale, feel all these mental, physical toxins, strain, move down and out of the body toward the core of the planet. We'll do that about 8 more times. Inhale, drawing sensation to the root. All awareness, all consciousness to the root. Hold the breath in. Maybe even seeing a pulsing at the root chakra. And exhale, move all of that awareness, all of those toxins, and anything you need to let go of, down to the core of the planet. Again, inhale awareness to the root. Hold briefly. And then exhale, see it move to the core of the planet. We'll do about 6 more times. A reminder that it's a brief hold after inhale. We don't want to make it too long. And that hold after inhale is not straining at all. It's more of a momentary retention of the breath. About 3 more rounds. And as you complete this exhale, release that part of the technique, breathing normally. And visualize a dark blue downward pointing triangle at your root chakra. Dark blue downward pointing triangle at the root. And then feel, sense, and see energy moving downward as flashes of lightning grounding into the center of the planet. Electric blue lightning shooting down from that triangle to the core of the earth. And as you do so, feel a powerful sense of being grounded and stable. Your body and mind steady. And dark blue triangle at the root. shooting blue lightning to the center of the earth to ground you, to stabilize you, connect you. And then release the visual and just feel grounded. That energy that Apana Vayu induced. Bringing more prana to that wind, helping with all types of elimination that you need help with, supporting you in that endeavor. So taking a deeper, fuller breath, please bring your palms together at your heart and bow your chin and just honor that aponic force of prana, that downward and outward movement of energy, and our ability to move it, our ability to bring it into being to support ourselves in this way. And may all of your effort here tonight and this practice support you and serve you in that way. So until we meet again, namaste. Thank you all for sharing and joining in this Apana Vayu class. We'll cap it off next week with the Dhyana Vayu. If you want to do a pranayama that helps to induce this, you can look on page 70 in my book for Shitali Pranayama. And I'll have this online soon. So if you want to come back to the chanting or the meditation or any part of the practice again, it'll be available for you there.